Hi, welcome back to Digital Learning. Today we have with us Laura Woods, and we are talking about Osmos and Ozobots. We are moving into the Ozbot section. Laura, what the heck is an Ozbot?
Ozobot is probably the littlest robot you've ever seen, and there's one sitting in front of you. We've nicknamed him.
I'm going to turn him on.
Go ahead. Just there you go. Press his ear, and away he goes. This is a robot that runs on colors, and he has to be coded. The coding piece is the important piece for our students because it teaches them the beginning skills of computer, it teaches them strategies, and it also teaches them logic. So basically that little guy right now is running on a pre-created map that we were given, but all the different colors and things that you see, and you see the colors changing in his head, those are codes that are in the colors that he is running over. Now, the second part of our training that we'd had was giving everybody their own little Ozobot and the markers to do the coding with. So we have Sarah Truelson, who is our Ozobot Pro, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Ozobots.
All right, let's hear it.
So the Ozobot basically is a little robot. It's the smallest of its kind. And if you were looking at the Ozobot that you had in the little now bubble container, you'll notice that it's got some little wheels that help it to roll around. And it also has 5 openings with lights that shine out of them. Those are the Ozobot's eyes. And it uses those eyes to sense colors and patterns on a piece of white paper or on an iPad through a program. So this is a little picture of the bottom of the Ozobot. Since you're being so good and you don't have yours out in your hand, you'll see those sensors and the little wheels. It's really important, just a quick tip, that you keep those clean and the little wheels kind of dust free. So Ozobots basically are a really cool way, one, to teach kids coding and getting them to think about problem solving and really how computer science works, right? It's a really concrete way to get them thinking about those pieces. The other really nice thing is it's a great tool for your makerspace. So if you're starting to look into that concept in your media center, this is a good little tool to add to that because it really is a way for kids to have to problem solve, to get that whole rigor and to get that level of, oh, I'm so frustrated, but I need to persevere and figure this out. So we want kids to get stumped. We want them to make mistakes as they're learning how to make the Ozobot do what it needs to do, because those are those pieces that help them to learn, and they will spill into the other things that they're doing as they're taking tests, doing different things in the classroom. You've got a little set of markers from Ozobot, but please know that when these run out, which they will because they're water-based markers, and children are wonderful and they always cap things right away. No, adults don't do that either. So don't panic if your markers go dry. That doesn't mean that your Ozobot is now useless and you have to try to figure out where to get these. It works with any water-based markers. So how do you control the movement of this fabulous little robot so it's not just spinning randomly all around your desk? Basically, it's done using a combination of red, blue, and black codes. So one of the sheets that you got looks like this. And this is a combination of all the different codes that you can use to make your Ozobot move all around. And you'll see there's ones to determine its speed, direction, timers, cool moves, counters, wins and exits, all sorts of different things that you can do. I'm going to give you a couple directions. This first one's going to be pretty simple because, again, I want you to explore. And I don't want to give you too many directions on what to do because part of the beautifulness of Ozobot is figuring it out, right? Thinking about it, problem solving. And you are very smart people, so you will do a great job. So the second thing you need to make sure you have handy is that sheet that I showed earlier with all the different codes. Have that handy. And in about 2 seconds, I'm going to ask you to take out your Ozobot. Some of you already have because you're so excited. Your Ozobot and your markers. And I just want you to play. I want you to figure out a path that you can take your Ozobot on. I want you to use the codes If you want to, in all of your kits, it also comes with this neat little map, so you can kind of get an idea of what some of them look like.
Everybody's just getting ready to dig in and play with it and see what happens. And but that was a big room. There were a lot of people there.
Yeah, we filled the room to capacity.
All right. So I'm curious, some more information about how it actually works and how they code.
Well, the Ozobot runs on the colors, and the kids have to use markers, or people use markers to draw lines that create the codes. And we've asked the media specialists to take those codes back and help the kids learn what they are. And then they can create their own drawings, maps to create a skill for the Ozobot to accomplish. And we also gave them a little tiny construction kit. It's got these little arms on it where he can actually go and move things around. We surprised a teacher the other day where we ran him across the table and he literally moved her cup across the table. It's a phenomenal way to get kids engaged, especially in STEM learning. It's interesting. When they're done learning how to do this piece, then they're going to take it to the next level, which is learning more difficult coding. Now we do have a piece where they can see what the teachers were actually doing, drawing.
Okay, let's take a look.
This is where the teachers are literally using their markers, and a lot of them discovered that they were making very tiny little lines, and the Ozobot was just sitting there going, yes, and you want me to do what? So then they thickened their lines and realized that he really does need a little bit more juice in order to run. And they are drawing out the codes that they are looking at on the page. And then they are, right here you see the Ozobots calibrating, because they have to be calibrated to the correct dark color. They were playing with the map down there, which is actually an Ozobot racetrack. And here we have them running on the track that they've created. They work together very well to do this. And they were helping each other because they were all making mistakes. And when they were done, this was what they ended up with. And this is how they're going to train the kids.
If
So-
you're still calibrating, you don't have
What
to
is the
calibrate
purpose
again.
of learning
Usually they're
for
pretty
kids? What do
accurate.
kids get out of learning
That
this?
usually comes
Apart from
right
fun,
there.
it's a lot of fun.
Yes. No, but it also is a coding piece for computer science, because that is the future. This is where we have to get them ready for what they are about to face in their lives. And this is a big piece of it. The logic skills, the coding skills are all a piece of what they will face. And this is also a piece of what the teachers can help train them to do. And it is also problem solving, which is really important.
So this isn't so much a content piece, like the Osmos, we were able to insert the content, but this is really the skill of coding, the problem solving. If I want it to do this, I have to tell it to do that.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and like as you said, everything going forward is computer based, and if we can move past the time of it's magically happening in there to understanding that there's actually human handprint that has caused it to do what it does, you know, that's the next step. So how did the teachers enjoy this piece of it?
Oh, they had a ball. They thoroughly enjoyed themselves.
So what are you doing? What have you found?
I'm having fun with Ozobot, creating a path for my robot
Nice.
with
And-
colors.
And what is that? What were you trying to do with that one?
Well, watch him. He's going to come back, and now he's going to come back. No, he stopped. He usually came back. So watch. Okay, so he's going to go this way. Then
Nice.
he's going to go around
And I notice it's turning red.
with the colors. Yes.
Awesome.
Yep, and blue. Yes.
Can I give you a tip?
Yes.
So if you want the color to show really bright, grab that little hood
All right.
and stick him on, and then run it again and see what happens.
Okay.
Spin the other way.
Let's see. Oh wow!
Right?
Yeah, that was so cool.
It's so much brighter.
It is so much brighter. Oh, the kids will love this.
Oh, I know. I love it.
They're going to have a lot of fun.
So what else can you add with that code sheet to make it do even more exciting things?
I want to figure out the flash code.
That one's going to be, that's a good question. That one's going to work on the iPad app.
Okay.
So on the app, you kind of drag those little flash codes, and they're like a version of this that's just been smumped into a little flashing ball.
Oh, that'll be
But for this one, you're going to use the sheet.
all right. So I'm going to keep. Oh, there it is.
So did it fix it?
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes you're going to have to look and see, is what did I do in my code that I might need to tweak?
So we had a room full of library media technology specialists, and they got these cool toys to play with, and they had some training on them. And so what is your goal? What is your marching orders as they get back to their individual buildings to share this?
When they get back to their buildings, my request was that they set up an area somewhere in the media center to start building a maker space, which is just a spot where the kids can come, and it can be a spot for 4 or 5 children that can all sit around a project that they're working on. And in this case, it's coding with either the Ozobot or with Osmo. Osmo more the language arts and content and social studies and science. Ozobot is more of a STEM piece, it's science and computer programming. Another piece that they learned about from us is part of Ozobot is Ozoblockly, and that is something they can do online and teaches them how to give specific directions. You move 2 spots, you turn left, you go so far, you're going to jump over something or you're going to pick up something. And that's all part of the coding experience. But they're going to work in teams in their media centers. Teachers can send small groups of children, or they can bring the whole class to the media center, and as they're getting books, they're doing projects, it can be one of the areas that part of the children in the class can explore.
So this is really a new concept in how we handle our media centers. I mean, back in my day, back in your day, we went into the media center and we sat down and we were just quiet. And you had the librarian saying, shh.
That's right. And today we don't mind the uproar of knowledge, because when kids are learning, they are not quiet. When adults are learning, as you could see, they are not quiet. They're having a wonderful time sharing information, collaborating, figuring out issues. It's the way of learning. It is not a quiet activity at all, and media centers no longer need to be a quiet place to be.
Laura, I want to thank you for your leadership in this, and it's an exciting use of the referendum funds to move us into creating 21st century media centers across our district. And we're going to look forward to hearing about how they've actually got put to use, and we'd love to see some kids working on this. So maybe on a future episode, we'll have an opportunity to see some kids playing with these as well.
That'll be awesome.
All right. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Digital Learning. Join us next time.